Okay guys, here with another vinyl video, and this artist that I'm going to start off with is probably the most notorious in the Norwegian black metal scene because of the history behind the band. Before I show my first LP, I will say I actually got into the band through their first album, and I liked it, but over time, as they replaced that vocalist with my favorite vocalist of the band, um, and his stuff is my favorite. So those are the two albums that I have at the moment. I'm also going to get Wolflair's Abyss, which is the EP they made with him fronting the band, and that's actually the first collection of songs they made when they had him come back to do the lead vocals for the band. And I'm trying to, the band I'm talking about is Mayhem, of course, and I'm trying to get back into Attila's vocals, but to be honest with you, other than De Mysterious, their first album they made with him, I heard Ordoad KO and Esoteric Warfare, and they were okay, but they weren't amazing. I did hear a little bit of Damon when it came out, and that sounded more like the Mayhem that I like. They had brought new guitarists into the band and stuff, and it sounded more like the Mayhem that I like. So anyways, I'm going to try and get the Attila stuff after I know I like The Mysterious, and I'm going to listen to the other albums and make sure I like them before I get them, but most likely I will. But I started off my collection with the stuff that I love by the band, and let's start off with the first full-length album they made with Maniac on lead vocals and Blasphemer on guitar, also known as Rune. He plays guitar in Ultimus and Aura Noir since leaving Mayhem. So there's side A, the cover of Grand Declaration of War. And here is side B. This album came out in the year 2000, and I actually went to go see Mayhem live in Toronto when they were touring for this album, and Maniac was pretty crazy. The only other concert I've ever been to where the singer was that crazy, cutting himself and doing crazy stuff, was when I went to go see Marilyn Manson for the Antichrist Superstar tour back in like 1997. He cut himself with this tool he had, and that's pretty much it. Maniac was cutting himself and putting cigarettes out on his tongue and hands and arms, as well as wrapping barbed wire around himself to cut himself and choking himself with the mic stand, and he punched the stage and broke his hand. Yeah, good times. Anyways, that is Grand Declaration of War. That album came out in 2000. The next album is Chimera. This is the last album they did with Maniac on vocals. It's probably my favorite album. There's the inside of the gatefold. And it's just on plain black vinyl. Next artist we have is from Sweden, and these four albums are actually by their current vocalist that's fronting the band. When I got into this band, they had a different lead vocalist, and the album that got me into them was called Diabolical, and it was an older release. And that's actually, they made, what was it? Vitra, Diabolical, Shield. Yeah, they made 3 full-length albums with their original vocalist that made me a fan of their work. I think his name was Andreas Nilsson, Anyway, the band, of course, is Naglfar. The first album I have is Pariah. There's the back. This is their current vocalist. That was actually originally their bass player in the band when Andreas was their vocalist. Sorry about the cough, guys. I'm still trying to get over my cold. The vinyl for this looks pretty cool. There's side A. And side B. Nice splatter. Kind of reminds me of that Hecate Enthroned album I showed in one of my last recent videos, only this is like the blue vinyl version of it. The Hecate Enthroned one was a red splatter. Yeah. This album came out in 2005. Next up, their next album is Harvest. There's the back. Isn't that a cool logo? Their old singer drew that logo. Pretty cool. It's kind of a bummer that he's not fronting the band anymore, but there's side A. And side B. This album was recorded in 2006. And their next album is Terrace. I got this secondhand, and the guy I bought it from stuck that hype sticker right on the cover. What a tool. I put my hype stickers on the plastic because I don't want them on the actual paper of my sleeves or jackets or anything. And I can protect them by putting Scotch tape over them that I use to stick them to my outer sleeves. So it's all win-win as far as I'm concerned. So Dirk Verburen did session drums on this album. Dirk, of course, has played with Soilwork and is the current drummer of Megadeth. And my buddy, actually. I met him through his radio show on Gimme Metal that he hosted for a couple years there, right before the pandemic happened, and during the pandemic. So here's side A. Side B. This vinyl has an etch of the band logo on it. There's side C. And there's the etch. No music on this side, of course. Looks pretty sweet, though. And that's it. I'll get the last album in the next video. Bye for now.